Your music has shifted atmospheres and shifted services so much so, man. Just thank you for being who you are in the music industry and how you have contributed to the kingdom of what we call gospel music. That's exciting in itself.
Man, I'm always humbled by what the music does. God gives us songs, and we never know who they'll reach, where they'll go, or who they'll touch. But when you hear the testimonies and you hear that people are uplifted and set free and healed, and all through this music, it is definitely always encouraging to know that we're doing our assignment.
Your chapter 10.
So I took a while before I did chapter 10, just listening to the sounds of the earth, what was going on in the world. And I just want to release a sound that was relative to where we were today. So I didn't rush out anything. So all the songs are married to each other for this big encouragement or this after this type of sound, because I do believe that there has to be glory after this. There has to be something going on after you go through. So the whole project is really about coming out and how do we deal with that. This is a different project for me, but it was good because I was able to write some familiar sounds and collaborate with some amazing artists to produce the sound. I think it attacks my evolution. It helps me to realize that although I have some of the same style, it is presented in a different way, a way that's more relevant for today's ear and today's audience. So when I write songs, I still hear voices, and they're not always mine. So basically, collaborating helps me to present those songs in a way that I hear them. That's number one. But the number two is that collaborating with artists, especially in gospel, it just helps get your message out bigger. But it also, I want to say, cross collateralizes your audience. Because Jacqueline Carr's audience is not my audience right now, but because we did a song together, it opens up the ear to the audience as well. So I think collaborations are always important, and it continues the gospel to live beyond what we can see sometimes.
Wow. Now that's good. That's good. Now listen, I want to talk about Nobody Greater, but I must say, out of all your songs, I think one of my favorites still today is You Don't Know My Story. Oh my
My
God.
testimony. Yeah.
Dude, every time we sing it, it just shifts the atmosphere. So I still love that one. That is my favorite. What's to come is better than what's been. But with Nobody Greater, it opened so many doors for you and it reached beyond even the church walls.
I believe that it all helped in the evolving of Vashawn Mitchell and the sound that I've been presenting for a long time, but it helped to place me on the map as not only this songwriter, not only this singer, but like an artist that can be around for a while. I thank God for the success of Nobody Greater. I have to always say that it's not a song that I actually wrote. I didn't write this one. I arranged it for this project, but I believe it was written for me because a lot of people were singing it, but God gave me a sound that He had to get into the earth, and He used me to do it. I always say that this song opened the door to the rest of my life.
When we hear it, we think of Vashawn Mitchell. I just want you to know that. So I said it. If anybody asks, I said it. Okay. But
Awesome.
we have humility with us too. So she may have a few questions. So humility, what do you have for Vashawn?
I want to know what your thoughts about the new genres, if you will, completely within gospel music. What is your perspective on that?
So when we think about it, it's praise and worship, it's quartet, it's choir, it is groups, it's soloists, it's traditional, it's contemporary, it's Christian. So I'm really not stuck on how we spread it. I'm stuck on making sure the message remains what it is. And that
That's
is the
good.
life, death, resurrection of Jesus Christ. Basically, no matter how we spread it, that it remains the gospel.
When you look back over your career, what one thing in your life can you say was consistent throughout your career and remains today?
Wow. I would say that my message remains consistent. We talked about the different styles and evolving, but the lyrics and the message continues to be relevant throughout the different sounds. I can't say that I'm the same because I grew into who I became, but the message remains the same and will always remain the same because that's how the songs I'm given are supposed to come out. I don't try to, and this is the thing, I don't try to force songs. I hear songs.
Mm,
And that's probably the most relevant part of my consistency throughout the years.
wow, that's awesome.
Now, with that said, your music often blends traditional gospel with contemporary sounds, and
Yeah.
you do that well. How do you strike the right balance between honoring, say, gospel's rich history and pushing the boundaries?
Oh wow. I don't know how I do it, but I like to try to push the boundaries a lot, sometimes more than others. But I think the history remains in who we are, and making sure that our sound is still noticeable
Okay.
through pushing the boundaries. And I think that's the best way to say it, is that when you hear it, it's still gospel.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's good. That's good. Listen, you're on stage with Earl Bynum magazine. We're talking with the one and only Vashawn Mitchell. I have one final question, and that question is, as someone who continues to make a lasting impact in gospel music, what do you hope that your legacy will be, and how do you want to inspire the next generation of gospel artists?
I say this a lot, and I really mean it, is that I thank God for songs that can live longer than I can. So
Amen.
I definitely want a legacy, but I would be more excited that even when my name is forgotten, the songs are remembered. And it's hard to say, but it's when you ask God for a sound that can live long, it outlives you at times. That's pretty much the legacy, is that 50, 60 years from now, someone is pulling up, turning around for me, or they're listening to Nobody Greater, or they're listening to My Worship Is Real, and it still has the same power. That is for me.
Wow. And that statement you made, man, thank you for that. That statement that you just made, that your songs will be remembered even if your name is not. That is a powerful statement, and I've never heard it. So Vashawn said it right here. Okay, y'all remember
Right here.
that.
Yeah.
But man,
Yes, sir.
thank you so much for taking out time to be with us here at On Stage with Earl Bynum magazine, because I often say time is something that we cannot get back. So I appreciate your time. I honor you, honor your music. Thank you for being the man who you are, not only in gospel music, just as a man in music. Thank you for being who you are, your name, keeping your name, because a good name is better than riches. We know that. So
That's it.
thank
Yes,
you
yes.
for being Vashawn Mitchell. And there's only one. There's only one. So let's not forget it. Humility, anything you have to say.
So we want to see more of you. Do you have anything you'd like to let us know here on stage with
Yeah.
Urbana Magazine that's coming, so we can say you heard it first here?
So people don't say this enough, so I want to make sure that you know it, is that you're an artist in your own right, you're a singer in your own right, you're a musician in your own right, but you always have a way of sharing your platform with others, from radio to your programs to now this magazine. So I want to just say, on behalf of all the other artists that you have put your stamp of approval on, thank you so much. I have a lot of things going on this year. I just let you know I'm celebrating what we're calling the 4825 celebration in November the 16th in Chicago, Illinois, which I'm turning 48, and I'm celebrating 25 years in gospel music. So we're just doing a catalog musical. It's going to be crazy. More information will be on my Instagram or my Facebook very soon.
Thank you for sharing all of that. We appreciate you. DailyPraiseTV.com appreciate you. On Stage with Earl Bynum magazine appreciate you, man. And we wish you the best. Listen, continue to be the best you that you can be, because can't nobody beat you being you. Be
Amen.
authentically you. You heard it first right here at On Stage with Earl Bynum magazine.